you here for? Strictly business. Yeah. You want a job? What you here for? Strictly business. Yeah. You want a job? Or get rich? I'm bossed up. 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 Got boss in my IV. Just check my ID, and that's why I be the HNIC. People despise me. My services ain't free. Ain't trying to hear your story, homie. Cop me, no please. In high school, corner, quarterback. Nowadays, corner, quarter sack. Keep that on the low, rappers turning into rats. Fly snitching on they self, DEA ransack.
Yo, what's good? Sorry, we're a little late. Technical difficulties.
A lot of technical difficulties.
Still kind of struggling a little bit, but the struggle is real. We here. The boys are back. Voltron is fully formed. The three-headed monster is here. Flyest guy, you know, Mr. GQ is in the building. The Bay Area bully Moolage is here. And your boy from the South Side is back in the building. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Ready to not only address some cat, but get into some football, man. It's been a really great week.
Yeah,
really great
so,
week.
you know, I go ahead, GQ.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. It's been a long day, but we're here. I'm sorry for missing last week. To the fans out there, we was taking care of some things back in the homestead, so I had to step away, but I'm here, so enjoy it.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Moolage, how you want to do this, man? How you want to do this, man?
Oh man, bro. It seems like, and it's just to me, it seems like people cannot let this Revis thing die, bro. I really don't get it. I really don't understand it. And you know, I can kind of see where they're coming from, right? The nostalgic, right? Like people like I said a few episodes back, a lot of people like to overhype that Revis 09 season, and I can understand why, right? Like he definitely did lock down some notable receivers, but let's not do too much and act like all those receivers were A in their prime or B just at the top of their game. Because Randy Moss wasn't a Pro Bowl that year. He wasn't an All Pro that year. Actually, the only All Pros that he locked down that year was Andre Johnson and Reggie Wayne. Everybody else was an All Pro, nor Pro Bowl. So to me, like, yeah, that's cool, sure, but I like to see you do it when they're at their best, not when you're at their best and they're falling off their best clip. That's just me personally.
My thing was with all of this. Look, Darrelle Revis season, that 09 season was what it was. I'm not going to argue with nobody about it because people are going to have different outlooks on it than I do. I know what a Rex Ryan defense looks like on the inside. I know the type of pressure it creates and how it can make cornerbacks look good or hide deficiencies on the outside. I know that. I said this before in the pod. Trent knows this. But my original point was, if you're telling me his 08 and 09 seasons was his peak, 100%, that's fine. But he retired in 2007. So that means he got worse over time. That means he was only good the first three, maybe. I'll give you the first 4 years of his career. So you're telling me 4 years of his career are better than an entire career of Charles Woodson and a couple of these other guys? Because if all it takes is 2 good seasons, then what you're telling me about Lester Hayes, doesn't make any sense to me. So if all it takes is 2 seasons, where do we put Nnamdi Asomugha?
That's exactly what I'm saying, right? Because I'm glad you bring that up, Mel, because a lot of people want to say, oh, well, they didn't throw at him. They didn't throw at him. That's the reason why I put him up there. That's the reason why his peak is so high. Well, they didn't throw at Nnamdi either. And nobody classifies Nnamdi at the top 5. I asked the question in the comments, bro. I still have yet to get a comment back. I asked, okay, well, the same thing happened to Nnamdi around the same exact time, 08, 07. Nnamdi was top 3 in corners, and they literally said that it was Nnamdi, Revis, and I think bro from the Vikings. I forgot his name, number 33 though. They said those were the top 3, and Charles Woodson. Those are the top around the top 3 or 4 DBs or corners in the league at that time. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, right? If everybody wants to gloss over or to glaze the fact that they didn't throw at Revis, and he just had his side of the field locked down. And that's the same thing they say for Sherman as well. The same exact thing they say for Richard Sherman as well. So why is Nnamdi considered a top 5 or top 3 corner?
If all it took was if all it takes is 2 seasons.
If all it takes is 2 or 3 seasons, Nnamdi had 2 or 3 seasons, Revis had 2 or 3 seasons, Sherman had 2 or 3 seasons. All these guys should be top 5.
Right. That's what I said.
Based on their logic, though. Based on their logic.
Right. And my other question was, if you got him listed as the 3rd best corner of the 2010s, the 3rd best corner, you're telling me 2 seasons bumps him from wherever that would have put him all time being the 3rd best corner of his era. Sorry, he got drafted in 2007. So which means those 3 years that he spent from 2007 to 2010 doesn't count for the 2000s.
Nope.
Everything else goes into the 2010s. You got him as the 3rd best corner of the 2010s. 3rd best.
That's what
How
I
does
heard.
that make him the 2nd best corner of all time?
Of all time.
Like, are we just talking about New York Jets Revis? Are we talking about Tampa Bay Revis? Like,
they said as a whole.
There's parts of there's like, well, but the problem that we run into is all of the highlights they show he's wearing a New York Jets uniform.
Yeah, but that's what me and Bullich had said. Is like, if you're going to overhype that 2009 season, then you're basically saying his entire career was based off of 2009.
It was based off of that season.
When they show highlights of Deion Sanders, you see 49ers, you see Cowboys, and you see Falcons. Yep. You see because he made highlights on all of them, all the above.
So you even see the Ravens because he had a crazy ass kick return.
That's true. We kind of forget that he did play there. We forget.
You see the Ravens in Washington, like you see him do those.
Well, I guess it's the same way we forget that Revis played in Kansas City because he was an afterthought at this point.
I mean, I knew he played on Kansas City. It's just, but
we don't count when I say these comments that I'm saying.
Of course, we know.
We are not the casual football family. We watch a lot of football. Most people would not have noticed it. Just like a lot of people probably don't even realize he played for Tampa Bay. A lot of people probably just completely are overlooking that he played in Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay wasn't good at all.
Because they'll throw the excuses. Oh well, he was hurt. That's part of the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, everybody gets hurt. Ty Law was hurt. He still produced. Champ Bailey was hurt. He still produced.
At what point? It's crazy because people like to pick and choose when they want to talk longevity and peaks and all of these things. Because Charles Woodson, like Trent has a totally different argument from the kid, Kieran, or whatever the fuck his name is, who keeps stitching my videos, but then turns his stitches off so I can't answer his videos like a bitch. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Called him out.
Because Kieran said out of his own mouth that Patrick Peterson and Richard Sherman were way more elite in the 2010s than Darrelle Revis. So how can you say that 2 other players were more elite than him, but he's still better than them?
I remember this conversation now. When you said that in the chat, I had to go look. Now I remember exactly which videos you're talking about. Yeah, no, stop it. All right, you killed your own argument when you said that.
You killed it. You literally put it on a stake and drove it through the chest. Like that is, you cannot say that 2 other people were more elite in hit. This whole peak versus prime bullshit makes me fucking upset because you're talking about, his peak. You're talking about 1 season where he was good, maybe 2. But what happens if that person has 2 good seasons from 08 to 09, but then go on a run from 2012 to 2016? Which one was his peak?
Yeah, prime example of a current NFL player that is going through something very similar. His name is Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham had 3 phenomenal seasons.
His first 4 seasons, I will put them against any wide receiver.
I'm gonna say 3. I'm not going. That 4th one, a little, but his first 3 for sure. 1,500 yards, multiple touchdowns. But then you look at the 6 years preceding that combined, he does not have more yards than those seasons.
Right.
And that's,
But
for Revis's career, we're talking about 400 plus tackles, 6 forced fumbles, I think 29 interceptions, some shit like that. That's his career. Like that's what we know. Like that's what we know. So it's like, okay.
Do we put Odell Beckham in the greatest wide receiver of all time conversation based off his first 4 years?
No.
Do we do that with any other? Do we do that with any other player?
Other than them trying to do it with Patrick Mahomes right now, no.
Yeah, but we're kind of doing it. But I think the only position is probably with quarterbacks more than any other position.
Because
quarterback is a constantly evolving position. Like corners are the same as far as the position. They're not built the same because Darrelle Revis, I'll give him just like Sherman. Like he was one of those bigger corners, and that's where he's a little bit different. He wasn't those smaller guys that was athletic. He was a bigger guy who was long and took advantage.
Physical at the line of scrimmage corner.
And so there's that, but I'll give him this too. We won't completely bash him. I will say he had something that I liked a lot that a lot of corners aren't able to do as much, and it's that lean. My defense players know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that.
He was
lean is very.
That lean was real sneaky.
I think the biggest problem people have when I have this conversation about Darrelle Revis, I never said Darrelle Revis wasn't good. I said Darrelle Revis isn't a top 5 or top 10 cornerback. Based off what he has done, does not make him. Did he have a solid, very good 2 seasons? Of course. I'm not taking that away from him. But you can't base your entire argument for making him a top 2, top 5, top 10 cornerback of all time based off of 9 seasons. And by their own words, he was only good for maybe 3 or 4.
So he played 11 seasons. If you want to call it that 2009 season, he had 6 interceptions.
31 passes defended.
Yeah.
Or defended.
Haven't we had a few? We've had a couple of corners that have surpassed 6 in a season. Didn't that Trayvon guy do that shit too?
The only knock on Trayvon Diggs was that he gave up
a whole bunch of fucking yards.
Yeah,
100%. But I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, outside of that, I mean, okay, 2007 he had 3 interceptions. 2008 he had 5. 2009 he had 6. 2010 he had 0. He played 13 games, but he had 0 interceptions. I don't know what happened that year. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Then we got 2011 he had 4. 2012 he had 1. 2013 he had 3. Like, so I mean, it's like, I don't know. The numbers are very Zeke Elliott like.
Right, and the thing about it is, another thing, people like to say, "Oh, they didn't throw on Darrelle Revis. That's why he doesn't have the interceptions." Well, they didn't throw on Deion Sanders either, but he had 53.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it's crazy, right? Crazy that you bring up that point, right, Mel?
I mean, they didn't really throw on Sherman's side a lot either, and Sherman still got these interceptions. Like he still made shit happen.
But it's crazy that you say that, right? Because we were talking about Asante Samuel the other day, and everybody wants to say how, oh, well, they didn't throw at Revis. Then why in both years that Asante led the league in interceptions, he had 24 passes defended? Can y'all tell me how many Revis had in 09?
In 09, he had what, 31?
31. So if they didn't throw at Revis, then what were they doing to Asante? Because he had less passes defended and more interceptions. So what does that tell? What does that tell you guys? He was a better corner, even though they were throwing at him less. He was getting he still got more picks at the end of the damn season. Meaning that he was going above and beyond, other than just
for a season. The man got 51 in his career.
51 in his career.
Yeah.
So let's just. I'm playing stats game today. Fuck the bullshit. 2006, Asante Samuel had 10. 2007 he had 6. 2008 he had 4. 2009 he had 9. 2010 he had 7. 2011 he had 3. 2012 he had 5. 2013 is one of 2 seasons where he only had 1. He had also 1 interception in 2004. But knowing what I know about the New England Patriots and what I watched when I was watching football,
absolutely,
he wasn't one of the number 1 corners.
He wasn't playing as much.
Middle of a rotation. because we were still obviously operating with, you still had Ty Law on this team. You still had Tyrone Poole on this team. Like, you still had a lot of other players on this team, and Asante was building himself up. But the fact of the matter is, when Asante blew up, it was kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that, obviously, that one outlier, 2006, that you can't not miss that. I don't care who you are. You 10 interceptions. You can't miss that. Not to mention, this man had 120 yards worth of returns off of them interceptions too, which is pretty damn good. No touchdown, sadly, but he does have 6 career touchdowns. So that's 6 career pick sixes that man got.
Mm-hmm.
He also has one more. He has one more forced fumble than Revis at 7, which a corner forcing fumbles is a big deal. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, that's a hard thing to do.
But this is why when people try to tell me that Darrelle Revis is better than Charles Woodson, I was like, then you never watched Charles Woodson play football.
But see, those same people, how many of them were old enough? Because if you're arguing with young people, they play that game we talk about all the time. That recency.
Man,
if they watch Revis, they watch Charles Woodson, because that same season that Revis was doing what he was doing, Charles Woodson was in Green Bay balling out of control.
It's okay. I'm about to pull it up. I'm look, we live and in color. We pulling up stats. All right,
Absolutely.
65 interceptions, and this is the number. God damn, 33 of them forced fumble things. 33. That's more than the last 2 guys combined. But that shit's beautiful. Let's go look at these stats real quick. We're talking about this 2009 season, right? That's the one we're talking about. 09 season. 2009.
Because it was beautiful. Keep going.
He had 9 interceptions, 179 return yards, 3 touchdowns. So he was on that. He was in that thing that same year. So he was right there as far as being competitive. He was right there. The season before that, he had 7. And then this season after that, he had 2. This is, well, we know what this is, like, kind of going towards the downside. But he was also, we got to remember, here's something that I want people to understand. This is where the football knowledge is
we'll get into that a little later.
So 2009, Charles Woodson had already been in the league for 11 years.
Yeah. So
Charles Woodson was going towards the backside of his career and was still balling out of control.
Yep.
So I'm not going to hold that 2010 through 2015 season against him entirely, because this man, he damn near put 20 years together. But in 2015, he still put up 5 interceptions.
At safety.
I just want to throw that nugget out there. And that was playing for the Raiders.
They put him at another position.
And we know what was going on between 2010 and 2016 with the Raiders. It was just rough time. He was
our best cover DB.
Y'all was going through a lot. I'm sorry, Raiders fans.
He was still balling. He was still balling, still hitting milestones. Despite all of that. And I want to get into this legendary list that Randy Moss locked down, right? Let's go over these names real quick, okay? Andre Johnson.
You talking about when he called Randy Moss and T.O. bums?
Yeah. Interesting,
when
right?
He being interviewed by Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But he did put some respect on Andre Johnson's name. He called him a beast. He did.
Absolutely. Because you have to.
Ain't no way you're not gonna say that, because Andre put that word.
Yeah, because Andre was a dog. So the first one, Andre Johnson, 4 for 35, right? And looking at those games, right? I can understand why Andre only caught 4 passes. Because
who was their quarterback?
A joke.
What he said. What he said. What he said. I think it was Matt Pick Six Schaub at the time.
It's a joke. Because that was early Schaub. That wasn't even that time when Schaub had that one season that was an outlier when he was really.
I was gonna say that was an outlier when he was just like, oh my God, Max Schaub. No,
it wasn't that season.
Didn't he just get from Atlanta?
I think so.
So it's like, look, I'm not gonna think about this. This is the whole point. Revis did what he did. I'm not gonna take that away from him. No, but like I keep trying to make an argument for Darrelle Revis without talking about 2009.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. Like, you genuinely can't.
You have 11 seasons of this man, and all y'all can talk to me about is 2009. That's all you got.
Like
that's it.
And I'm gonna be this guy. And there's one thing, and I've said this. I believe I said it on this show before too. There's one thing I will 100% give Darrelle Revis his props for, because Darrelle Revis did do something that laid a foundation for something that's currently happening in the NFL, and it is players negotiating for their own contracts. Because Revis did do that, and he secured the bag without an agent. That was a big deal, and that was huge.
Other players was doing it for him, and it was cool.
Yeah, but the way they storied it and followed it, he was being a defensive player and all this other stuff. He was like, looking at the market. The cornerback market was kind of in a weird state at this time. They weren't getting paid as much as they should have been. You might not be crazy
saying that, but we'll get into that later.
People think
we're going to get into the 49ers in a little bit.
I didn't even get a chance to read that, saying Lions, 49ers. In what conversation? I know we ain't talking about this upcoming season.
Hey, I mean, look, we're going to have to, I'm gonna have
put a pin in that, because I don't want this taking over the whole show. We go.
No, we're not. Because
we're not. That's why I just said. That's why I bring up
the fact that he locked up T.O. twice. You mean an old ass Buffalo Bills T.O.
I was about to say Buffalo Bills T.O. don't even.
Y'all don't stop talking to me about that dumbass shit. I don't want to hear about him locking up T.O. no more.
That's the time when Skip Bayless was calling him Team Obliterator. That was a horrible time in T.O.'s life, and there's no fault of his own.
I don't want to see
even
this
still.
list with these weak ass fucking names, a Justin Gage, a Ted Ginn, Lewis Murphy. Bro, get out of here. Get out of my face talking about these weak ass niggas that Darrelle Revis locked up in 2009.
If Darrelle Revis put respect on Andre Johnson's name, Prime T.O. would have murked him.
Bro, he would have cooked him and ate him.
Murked, because I love Andre Johnson 100%. He's one of my favorite receivers. Yeah. T.O. is a different freak. T.O. is a freak.
Yeah.
Not to mention the shit he learned from Jerry Rice himself too. Like, he learned his work ethic from Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was like obsessed with everything. Like, I actually was. I don't know if y'all. I went back and watched the Jerry Rice versus Deion Sanders thing. Yep. That shit's hilarious. Oh my god, that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, we're gonna sideline this Revis talk, because this could take over the whole goddamn show.
Yeah, we'll talk about this more on TikTok. We're gonna try to go live and see if we can get some fellas in there and see if we can.
We'll have to go live on that. So stay tuned. We're gonna get to that. We definitely we're gonna get to it. We're gonna have to probably schedule a live about this conversation
at their peak, other than Andre. No, because Reggie wasn't even at his peak at the time. Like I said, we'll shelf that for now.
So I want to get to Colin Cowherd.
Oh yeah.
So he said some things about Russell Wilson that I did not particularly like, because there's this misconception that Russell Wilson is only good if he's rolling around like a crazy person and throwing passes. Like, he cannot throw from the pocket, which is absolutely false.
You better go back and look at that college tape.
Like, everybody thinks that, because Colin's like, he lost his athleticism and he can't throw from the pocket, so the Broncos offense is not going to be good if he can't do those things. I'm like, Russell Wilson can throw from the pocket very well. And the fact that he can scramble and create and play backyard football was just a bonus. It became part of what they did because their offensive line was so trash. But no, Wilson can sit there and throw tiny routes all day long if he's allowed to do so.
The thing about Russ is, I understand that, last season was probably an outlier. They had a lot of, injuries. They have a lot of injuries this season as well going into the season.
But lost Tim Patrick again. Jerry Judy's out.
Jerry Judy just pulled in.
Already. So, I think that the injury bug has made its way to Denver right now, and it's kind of chilling, just like it was in Baltimore for a few years. But the thing about Russ that I've always kind of said is that he runs a specific ship, not a tight ship, but a specific ship. And he does what he feels is comfortable. That's what got him a Super Bowl. That's what, has his career and the trajectory that it is now. And I kind of knew this was going to happen. I feel like there's going to be a point in time where him and Sean Payton are going to clash for a little bit, just because Russ likes things done a certain way, and we all know Sean Payton likes things done a certain way. The personnel on the team is not necessarily better than what he had on the Seahawks. So he's essentially trying to do the same things when it's he has to transcend to a different player, right? Like when you've been dealing with a whole bunch of injuries, when you've been dealing with different things and different regimes and different coaches, you have to transcend to a different player. And I think he's reluctant in doing that right now, only because he's still kind of caught up in what he was before. But just because you're not what you were before, doesn't mean that you can't still succeed in some way, shape, or form. And Colin Cowherd drinks lighter fluid for breakfast. Because
No,
there's
he does.
no way you can look at Seahawks tape or even tape from last year and convince yourself that Russell Wilson can't throw from the pocket. Like he has probably one of the tightest spirals, one of the hardest spirals. Like you can literally ask receivers in interviews and they'll tell you that he throws hard as shit. It's the reason why he was drafted to the MLB, because he throws like a pitcher. He has a pitcher's throwing motion. So to say he can't throw from the pocket is absolutely asinine. But we don't listen to Colin Cowherd because, like I said, he drinks lighter fluid for breakfast.
I'm not going to listen to that because in Sean Payton I trust.
Yeah, and I have faith in Sean Payton. I understand that Russ he's going to get better, but it's going to take them two guys that have been to a Super Bowl and have won the big game and are used to doing things certain ways to understand each other's game, understand each other's tendencies, weaknesses, strengths, and kind of just mesh together. It's not going to be a picture perfect thing. That combined with the injuries, of course, everything is going to be frustrating. It's going to look discombobulated, but.
It will get better, and I do think those two bright minds together can make magic.
Mm-hmm.
The problem they're going to run into is not those two. It's not them two. It's the fucking injuries that continue to happen around them. Right. He's going to run out of people to fucking throw the ball to. Yeah. Right now he's relegated to throwing the ball to, knock on wood, a hopefully healthy Javonte Williams for the rest of the season. He's got a rookie receiver, and he's still got Courtland Sutton.
Well, think about this. Think about this now. Because I went and looked and I was like, let me see what's still out there. With Patrick hurt, now hamstring with Judy. If you're the Broncos, do you bring in Jarvis Landry and Julio Jones?
Jarvis, maybe. Julio, no.
Julio, no. Jarvis, yes.
Okay. Who was the other receiver? There's several really good free agent wide receivers. Hold on. I was just looking at it. Hold on. Where'd it go? No, I can't find it. I think who the heck did? Sammy Watkins.
No. Add to the list of injured players.
I was gonna say no, because then he's gonna get injured game 2.
Well, because the thing is, you don't need him. You just need him to rock out for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, they tried that experiment with the Chiefs, and he still got hurt with the Chiefs, and he was like in and out the lineup. They barely used him. As far as he wasn't like a staple of the offense because he was always injured.
The first week, actually, literally the first week in KC game 1, he got hurt.
All right.
He got hurt Baltimore too.
That's same. And they signed him for the same thing. They signed him for the same reason, and he got hurt. So I've never trusted in Sammy Watkins after that first season where he had a whole bunch of hype and he got hurt. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this because it's been that trend ever since.
Once he left Buffalo, it was a wrap.
Right. I'm trying to see if I can find this damn list. Where did he go? Either way, no, Courtland Sutton was the one that got hurt.
No, Sutton's currently their number 1.
No, it was Patrick. Yeah, it was Patrick.
Yeah, Tim Patrick is back-to-back seasons. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
He probably gonna be he may be a cut victim at this point because he's coming up on 30 years old.
Is he already? Damn.
Yeah, he was the older receiver coming into the draft.
That's true.
Speaking of, all right. I did want to touch on this. I want y'all feelings on this. I know how I feel about this, so I'm gonna launch on it real quick. This Corey Davis situation with the Jets where he wants to retire.
Yeah.
Oh, he is retiring.
He did retire.
Yeah. This is I don't know if we touched on this before, but this is my personal opinion. Because somebody made a comment on one of the posts that I saw about it where they said, I don't have a problem with players getting a bag and then retiring. I have a very big problem with that. If that is the case, that goes to my larger issue that a lot of these players don't love playing the game. They love what the game can provide for them. And this is
true for about 85%.
Say it again.
I don't care. It's true for about 85% of these fucking players. They don't care about the game of football. They care about what the game of football can bring for them. Yes, I said it. I don't care because
but that's where I stand on it too.
About all of this stuff instead of just playing football. Yes, I'm talking about you. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, because my thing is, he has 1 year left on his contract. It's not like he has several years. You're a free agent in 2024, which would be at the end of the season. So with all of the moves that were made, they said that he was like the third or fourth receiver on the depth chart. So he didn't get bumped out by any of the new guys coming in. And this would be the best shot in your career of going deep into the playoffs and possibly winning a Super Bowl. This is the best collection of talent you've ever been around as a player. So to me, you don't love football. You were talented enough to make it to the league, and you enjoy it. I don't know if it's a personal thing. All I can go off of what he tweeted out or whatever it was when he said he's been wrestling with this internally for a while, which means you don't really like the game. You don't. I'm sorry. Because I would give anything. I got as close as I could get. As close as I could get. I was a practice squad dude. I would give anything to suit up on Sundays and play and compete in an NFL football game. That's me because I love playing the game. I never cared about the money. The money to me would always come, like, as long as I was getting paid, I was happy. But it was just the game. Like, I love football. Like, I live football. Like, this is what I do. This is my life. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I love more than football is my fucking family.
I mean,
so when I see guys that do this, it makes me so upset. Like, bro, like, you got a chance of, and like I said, I don't know the man. All I'm saying is, based off the words he put up, it just seems like there's no passion for what he's doing.
I mean, I feel the same sentiments, bro. Like, when I got hurt and I tore my knee, and I ultimately told myself my career is over. Like, me going to the league was probably going to be a long shot now, right? Because I felt like I was damaged goods, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of was, you know, coming off of the junior college, you know, trying to make it into a 4-year where you got the young high school kids and, you know, you got the 5-star recruits and all these people with all this, you know, all this hype. It's hard for somebody like me, somebody who really appreciates true work ethic and the actual game of football, to get in there and be known, right? So, like, when you say that, like, that resonates with me because, like, I've been there, right? Like, I've been there. I've tried to go to the different schools. After one school was like, yeah, nah, we good, and, you know, I put my name out there in freaking recruiting and freaking transcript after transcript after transcript and nose after nose after nose, and just to get an opportunity, right, to be seen, right? And for somebody to essentially take that for granted, bro, like, I can't rock with that, bro. I tell kids every single day, bro, when I'm out there on the field, like, bro, like, y'all gotta love this game. Like, y'all gotta appreciate this game and everything that it provides for you outside of hype and popularity and money in the future, right? Because some of you guys are good enough to go to the league.
Yeah,
right?
Because if you playing just to get the money, once you get the money, then what? This is what happens. This is why you get guys that be like, you know what, after 3-4 years, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's
I just try to tell people, like, yo, like, just love this game, bro, because you could not play it. Like, straight up, there's gonna be a time when you can't play it. It's gonna be a time when you can't play it no more, literally, physically, whether that be physically, emotionally. There's gonna be a time where you not play it. And I've had coaches really tell me prior to me getting hurt, bro, I was league talent. So
I was told all of the things. All of it. I told you when I was in JUCO and battling out with Plexico burrs, and our receiver coach looked me dead in the face and was like, "Look, you faster. You block better. You run better routes. Hands just as good, if not better. Only problem is he's 6'5", 220. You 5'8", 175. I can work with that, but I don't got to work with that. Like, his shit. Like he gives me an advantage every time he steps on the field. Every time. And like I said, it never stopped me though. I kept going because I saw dudes that were my size, that were playing receiver, that were doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Steve Smith, love him. Balled out. I watched guys. I coached Tavon Austin. I seen dudes. Like I know there were always dudes that were. I just didn't have whatever it was that was supposed to get me over the top. I just didn't have it. That's cool. It is what it is. But I loved the game though. I loved it. It never stopped me. I played arena ball. I played semi-pro ball. If anything that involved football, Melvin's name was next to it.
Yep.
I think what you're running into nowadays is mostly now, and we know we're dealing with more of it's about the brand. And I don't mean the brand when I say NFL. I mean the brand is in the individual player and their brand and whatever it is that they're building. And so it's no different than going to college, getting your degree, and starting working. It's kind of like the same concept. Difference is, all right, I'm gonna make it to the league. I'm gonna secure the bag, make sure I got enough to fund whatever it is I'm doing, and then I'm out. And that happens. Now I don't like I said, I'm in the same kind of boat with you, Mel. I don't know Corey Davis' situation. It legitimately could be something he could be battling something that maybe we'll hear about in a book one day.
And that's why I said
we'll see it differently. You know, he's also not the first player we've seen at like the age of like 28, 29 walk away from the game. I mean, we saw Megatron do that. We've seen, Luke Kuechly. Like we've seen guys do this.
Well, Luke Kuechly's brain was oozing out of his ears.
Yeah. And I got it. But I'm just kind of putting them all in the basket at the moment. Just players that, leave the game a little earlier.
Yeah.
And I understand bits and pieces of it. Like, and I understand you guys' side of it. And then, if you tell me that you want to play 5 to 10 years and then you want to, hang it up, I'm not going to be mad at you for that either. Because, we also hear about the long-term effects a lot of these guys have. Like, a lot of these guys have, you got back problems for the rest of your life. You got knee problems. A guy like Shannon Sharp had a hip replacement. Like, you hear about all these things. A lot of these guys are like, man, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go and be with my family and be with my kids and not be halfway broken.
Look at how Deion is right now. Shit.
Yeah, like so. I understand both sides of this discussion that we're having. I was nowhere near anybody's radar when it comes to being a professional football player. I tell you that right now. I'm a track and field guy. That's just what it is. Like football was cool, but it was never my passion. Track and field, whole different ballgame. But I don't know. I'm just gonna wait till we hear more from him. Like I'm not gonna bash that man like I bash a lot of these other players that I'm thinking about. Because like I said, I'd rather have all the facts before I just go off on him entirely. But seeing what he posted and everything else, you tell me something when a man says that he's been battling with something, that usually means that there's more underlying things going on. Because we know how we are as men. We don't say things like that. We don't come to decisions without serious thought.
Right.
That's one thing.
100%. 100%.
We think with logic. That's
100%.
So there's something there. We just don't know what it is yet, but there's something there.
Right. And my bigger thing was that's why I mentioned the comment first, because to me it was the comment that triggered the inside of me of just players just getting the bag and then backing out. And I'm not saying that's what he was doing. I'm just saying I've seen dudes that are just be like, yo, like they're good enough to play in the NBA or in the NFL or whatever it is. Because look, if somebody offered me and fucking Moolage said it 3-4 months ago, we was gonna start working out just so we could try out for the XFL and make the damn team because they're paying $11,000 a game.
Which I'm still working on.
I'm working on that too. But it's like, I understand the money aspect of it. I totally understand. How much, if someone told me right now, they're like, yo, Mel, can you get in shape for one season to play football for $12.5 million? Oh, I'm quitting my job tomorrow. I'm in an all-out war to get in shape to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what the financial capabilities are to take care of your family, because I know what $12 million will do for my family. So I'm not faulting anybody for having the mindset. I just know Melvin, for me, it's just about football for me. The money will come second. That was my dream since I was 7 years old. Like since I was 7, I was like, that's all I wanted to do. That was all I wanted to do. That's all I put my efforts into trying to do and become. And I got as close as I could and I fell short. So when I see dudes that get there and be like, I don't want to do this, it pisses me off.
And let us preface this by, saying like we don't know what Corey Davis is going through personally.
Yeah. It's not a personal thing on Corey Davis. It was just
not a personal attack on him. This isn't him, and this isn't us giving him the Andrew Luck, treatment when he retired because he was dealing with a shit ton of injuries and put his body on the line for that whole damn franchise. But
fuck the coach for that. Jim Marcel, bitch ass. Yeah, I said it.
Right.
And this isn't us trying to single out Corey Davis either, because Shaquem Griffin did retire as well, but his situation is a little different. Of course, only because he was one of the I think the first amputee football player to step into being the league. And he wasn't, he wasn't bad. He was pretty good.
I was shocked. I was shocked that
that's a textbook tackler right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his tackle form was
I loved his game. I loved the way he played. Yeah. So this isn't like a personal attack. We understand that the game comes and leads people in different ways, manners. And like I was just watching the Johnny Manziel thing last night, and like I can definitely understand some people deal with certain different things. It's just for me and Mel personally, we look at the game differently to the point where it's like it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter what can or can't happen, the trajectory we're on. I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna find some way, shape, or form to play this game, to be a part of this damn game.
Right. And my thing was, if homie wanted to retire, you a free agent next year. Just rock out this season and then retire.
Yeah, and the whole Johnny Manziel thing, that's a case of somebody taking the game for granted.
We got
that 100% took the game for granted. That whole story just opened up a can of worms that he probably should have kept his mouth shut about.
I mean,
this is what happens. Yeah, no, what I was saying, what happened with Manziel is this is when talent and privilege, like I think he loves football, he just didn't take it serious. People don't know what it takes. See, some people, I was never uber talented. I just worked really fucking hard to be good. And then there's some people that are just uber talented that don't have to work hard. And then when you have to start working hard, what you do now feels like it's when people say, I hate when people say this, when you do something you'll love, you'll never work a day in your life. Bullshit. Football is hard. I love football to death.
You always work.
Summer practices, spring practices, all that shit is hard. It is hard, but you got to push through it. I always push through it because I knew I wasn't the most talented dude on the team. I had to work to get to where I was. I had to work, make sure I didn't get overweight. I wasn't a step slow. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't even the biggest guy. So I didn't even have my size to live on. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work at everything. I had to be good at everything, great at some things. I was the crazy kid when they called out the kickoff team. I was the first dude who walked out. And it was just like, okay, keep him. He want to do that shit, let him do it. But that's how I started getting on the field more often, because they were like, well, if he's doing that, what else can he do? Then it was like, oh, he could play receiver, he could play quarterback, he could play running back. Oh, he's a really dope free safety. He's a dope corner. Okay, we can use him wherever we need him. I became a plug and play guy. Didn't matter where it was, put Mel over there. And so for me, like watching the Johnny Manziel shit, I'm like, dog, if I had half the resources you had, if I had half of the talent that you had, dog, I'm not taking it for granted, bro. I'm not pissing it away. I would have done anything to just play like that and be like that. Like to win a Heisman, you couldn't tell me shit. Man, please. I've been working my ass off, boy. You couldn't. No way. Sorry. Like, I love football. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to like frame that other than I just love football.
Have you ever held the Heisman Trophy?
Nope.
That motherfucker heavy.
It's 50 pounds.
So I was fortunate when I worked an event this past year, and the company that makes the fucking trophy was at this event. It's the coaching event for Texas high school coaches and stuff. It was at George R. Brown in Houston this year, but they had a replica of the Heisman sitting there, and I was like, this motherfucker is cool. I'm over here thinking, all right, this ain't too bad. I was like, this motherfucker like picking up a dumbbell at the gym. I was like, hold on. I see why when they hold it. That
motherfuckers is like this.
Yeah, you got to your hand. So you got your hand underneath it because that
only tells me that they don't be in the gym
right is bottom heavy. So
yeah,
you don't pick it up essentially by the base of the guy, you're gonna drop it. Don't pick that motherfucker by his shoulders.
No way.
Gonna fall out your hand.
Yep. It's just I don't know, man. Like that's another thing. We have to get back on gentleman's talk, and we have to take this a little deeper.
We've talked about having another open up another chronicle. We've talked about this, so there's a possibility that's coming down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I have another issue. I thought this would be a good thing when the NFL did it, and I fucking hate it now. I hate the numbers rule. I hate it.
Oh, the single digit thing.
I just hate it. Like they showed Jadeveon Clowney in his Ravens uniform. This nigga's wearing 24. It's the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life. It's the dumbest shit I ever seen. Sorry, I don't want to see a fucking defensive end wearing 24. I don't. Fucking. What's his name? Brian Burns is wearing 0. It's stupid. Zeke
went back to his Ohio State number. He wearing 15.
I'm cool with the running backs and receivers wearing like 1 to 40. I don't care. Like running backs and receivers and quarterbacks, they can wear like single digits and double. I don't care about that shit. It's when I'm just waiting for. And then because Teddy Bridgewater is wearing 55. That's fucking stupid.
I was about to say I'm waiting for a quarterback to wear a fucking linebacker's number because that should have just be dope.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's wearing 55.
But he don't count though. I want to see just this big husky, more athletic Ben Roethlisberger looking motherfucker come out of college and say, I'm gonna rock 54.
And he's gonna do it.
I just want to see it because I feel like it would just be it reminds me of some longest
BJ Raji wearing number 1. Vince Wilfork wearing number 2.
No, that's what's next, bro.
Low key, Vince Wilfork will fuck around and wear double 0.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I will preface this, Mel. By saying
I don't like it.
Jadeveon in 24 is nasty. That is gross.
It's gross.
That is gross. Jadeveon definitely needs a single digit or a high 90s. I do not care. You can't put that man in those 66 either. Like that's just not going to work.
It looks dumb because fucking Marcus Peters just got finished wearing 24. So now you see 24, you think Marcus Peters is playing fucking defensive end.
Big as hell.
Man, that boy Marcus Peters put on 70 pounds. God.
He's been in there. Marcus Peters.
Now, besides all the hatred towards that, how do you feel about the signing of Clowney to the Ravens? Though
I think it was a good signing. I think it was
definitely a good signing. I think it was a great destination. I
think it was a really good depth signing.
Yeah, and you put him because I forgot the African dude that played defense and the young kid. He was a rookie either last year or the year before last, but he fast as all get out. And then you still got what's big, tall, 8'9". Is it Calais Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Calais played with the Falcons.
No, he's on the Falcons.
Calais
is a Falcon now. Yeah. Hey,
okay.
I learned this during the preseason game. I need you to go look at what the Falcons acquired. They low.
No, I know. I don't.
They signed some dogs defensively that I was like, wait,
The Falcons
defense
might be scary in that division.
No,
like I know
the Falcons.
Saying the Saints gonna win that division, but that Falcons team might have something to say about it if they can figure the offensive shit out.
No, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm gonna say this right now. If the Falcons are smart with the offense that they have and the defense, and if they play the way I think that defense is going to end up playing with Jesse Bates, with Jeff Okudah, with AJ Terrell, with that, and you said Calais fucking Campbell.
Yeah.
Start Tyler Heineke today. Start him today.
Start Taylor
Start
Heineke
him today.
so he can keep adding to his Jordan collection.
Yeah. Because that team,
I'm just saying some New Orleans Saints 13s would be kind of nasty.
Because that team is almost ready. It's almost ready.
Yeah, and Desmond Ridder is going to be the weak link. Like, and we could be wrong. Like, we could be wrong. But right now, based on the film I've seen,
Based off the film, I'm putting Heineke in, and you just hope for the best. Or, like I said this a long time ago.
Like, I'm more nervous about Ridder than I am. I'm more nervous about him than I am for Sam Howell. Like, I think Sam Howell's gonna be fine. I actually thought Sam Howell looked pretty damn good.
He's gonna be dope.
Like, I think Sam's gonna be great in that offense.
Yeah.
Like, look, you know,
if Ron Rivera remembers how to coach football, I think he's gonna be great in that offense.
Quarterback that would have been a plug and play now type of guy if they would have been able to draft him would have been Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett would have been a shoe in for this team.
That's not a bad.
I think Stetson Bennett would have been a dog with this team.
No, and
all pun intended on when I said that.
Right, with him playing at the University of Georgia, I think that probably would have been that would have been the call I would have made.
That goes over great. I definitely would have made that call.
I would do that. But you said something. Let's talk about Trey Lance real quick.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
This is my personal opinion on the situation. I think the 49ers are absolutely fucking stupid. They're retarded. There's something wrong with them. Because I don't understand how Trey Lance beat out Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy last year to become the starting quarterback, and now all of a sudden he's not good enough to beat Sam Darnold and fucking Purdy again.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he got hurt. The ankle thing happened.
Oh damn, Mel. See, because when I said that, right, when I've been saying that to all these dumbass Niner fans out here, right, because I talk to them on a daily a lot. Mm-hmm. Nobody believed me. They was acting like that shit didn't happen. I'm just like, wait a minute. I could have swore last year he beat out not only Purdy and Jimmy G to get the starting job, but now he's not. And everybody was riding his meat respectfully, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was. Oh, Trey Lance, he's a new wave, and he's going to take us to the promised land. And now he can't throw. Now he has no pocket presence. Now he has no footwork. Now he has no escapability. I'm like,
even if he doesn't, how many years did he play in college? One?
Not a lot.
Played 1 year in college. The only way you can get better by doing something is by doing the thing you're trying to do. Injuries, his first two seasons, injuries took him out. He's 23 years old. He's 23. Throw him out. Put it like this. I don't agree with what the Colts are doing with Anthony Richardson.
Those are two.
I really
different. Those teams are built way different.
No. But my thing is, in order for a project to get better, you got to play the project. You got to play him. True. You have to play Trey Lance, because this is what happens. If it don't work, guess what? You don't have to sign him next year because it's a team option next year. You can let him go. It is what it is. You got collect your losses. It is what it is. You fucked up, but you still have Brock Purdy.
No, you fucked up royally. Did you see that the way that draft shook out? The Niners fucked the draft up.
No, they didn't.
It allowed the Cowboys to get Micah Parsons. Did you see how what them draft picks flipped into?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the players. Like, if they would have stayed the course, there's a chance that the cheat code would have happened, which would have been the Niners could have gotten Justin Fields. Yes, I said the cheat code. You give Kyle Shanahan a quarterback like that, that would have been a different thing altogether.
You said exactly what I said when I was talking about this. If it was a perfect world, Justin Fields goes to the 49ers. Trey Lance goes to the Bears, which is a better situation for him because because unpopular opinion right now, Trey Lance is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. What Trey Lance is not what Justin Fields is. See, Kyle Shanahan can take a guy like Justin Fields, i.e. Robert Griffin III, and do things in his offense that you just have no answers for. And it would have worked in San Francisco with Justin Fields. It would have worked. Then in Chicago, Trey Lance would have time to develop as a quarterback.
Yeah,
because he's not going to do all the running that Justin Fields was doing. No,
but
he was actually going to.
He's not a bad runner.
He's not a bad runner, but he doesn't think to run first.
No, he's got enough escapability to get out of the pocket if the pocket collapses. Like he can definitely do that. But that's not his, like you said, it's not his first instinct.
It's not his first instinct, and he can read. A lot of Justin Fields' running came because he didn't see the field well. What Kyle Shanahan would make you do is, you see this little pocket over here? I don't want you to look nowhere else but right there. Someone's going to be open right there, and if no one's open there, then you go. But somebody's going to be open. But somebody's going to be open over there.
Justin Fields is that when they do those spot routes and when they have you do those timing routes, and you have a Deebo Samuel, you have a Brandon Ayuk that can run, that can create space in the intermediate, but they can't create space deep. So that's the reason why his offense is so short or run centric, because he can have you create certain spaces. He can scheme up something that's going to put the receiver in a specific spot to the point where he's going to be open. You just got to put the ball there. The Bears don't have that. They don't got that luxury. They don't got the luxury of having a Kyle Shanahan. So I think it's different when it comes to Justin Fields and Trey Lance. As far as
because the difference, Justin Fields he played 3 years at Ohio State, starting 2 or 3.
It was 2, should have been 3, but it was 2.
Right. Trey Lance just needs to get on the field and play football. Like that's just what he needs. He needs reps.
They need to go ahead and give him the reset he deserves. I'm gonna say
absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't even hang on to him as the third quarterback or the fourth or whatever.
No.
However the fuck you about to play this game. I truly hope. I hope this happens. I really hope someone trades him.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
I'm not gonna say I don't care who. Mm-mm. I'm not gonna say I don't care who, but because I do have a list. I'm sure Mel does too. So I'm gonna let you do your thing.
I proposed a 3-team trade where everybody gets what they want. Everybody gets what they want. And these 3 teams, 49ers, Cardinals, Vikings.
God. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
This is what happens. 49ers send Trey Lance to the Vikings for Kirk Cousins.
Oh, shit.
The Vikings, then what happens is you send Kirk Cousins to Arizona. They're in a full rebuild. You can send Kirk Cousins to Arizona. He can put up all the goofy numbers he wants, and no one care less. You take Kyler Murray, send his ass to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Now you put Kyler Murray with Kyle Shanahan. Now you have the quarterback to go win the Super Bowl.
I don't think the Niners have the cap space to pull Murray's contract. His contract is dumb.
Not to mention,
his contract is pretty stupid.
No, but that's why I said they make the trade for Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins only got 1 year left on his deal. This is Cousins' last year on the deal he has right now. So if you send him to Arizona, Arizona's going to tank anyway. Like so you can literally just let him go after this. If you're in the what's the damn kid, the Caleb Williams kid, you're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. But
I said
the Kyler thing, that's a shit. You really think that little toddler gonna rework his contract?
If he goes to San Francisco, yes.
I don't trust Kyler.
I don't trust Kyler Murray
or Kyle, either Kai in big game.
I would rather take my chances with Brock Purdy than Kyler Murray.
Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. And
I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get Trey Lance because I think Trey Lance in Minnesota works.
This is the thing. This is the thing that
I like because you talking about so he'd be working with Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and I think that'd be great for him. No, I think that'd be great for him. Like before it all happened, I'll add a team into this mix. I actually wanted him to go to Washington with Eric Bieniemy. That's what I wanted.
No, I can see that too. That's fine.
And it's not because he kind of looks like he would play like Patrick Mahomes in a low budget film or anything like that. It's just I think he has the tools to help kind of fix what's broken.
Because I think what Trey Lance needs, he needs a bunch of young weapons around him to help him grow.
Yeah.
That's why I said Minnesota, because you give him a Jordan Addison and Jettas and that offense with the coordinator that works for him because he doesn't have to, you're not stressing him out and there's no expectations. The reason why the 49ers are giving up on Trey Lance is because everybody keeps calling him a Super Bowl contending team. That's the problem.
In a crazy alternate universe, follow me on this one. What if, for the sake of argument, after this season, what if the Cowboys fail once again and the Cowboys don't re-sign Dak and they bring in Trey Lance?
And they will.
Oh, we know it's going to fail. We know that already. We know that. We know it's going to fail.
I mean, I don't not like it.
You give him
because he's going to come cheap.
Yeah, that's the first thing. He's cheap. So when you can get the quarterback cheap, you can continue building the weapons.
Building around it.
What you did for Jalen Hurts, you can continue doing what you did for Justin Fields. You bring in more weapons, and you can bolster the offensive line, which is aging. It's aging. So I can push more money to the O-line. If you give him an actual, which the Cowboys O-line is still good, the fact that it's being older, but he's also got these speedy running backs who can also go out and catch passes. So you've got all these ways for Trey Lance to do one thing and one thing only: get the ball out of his hands as fast as fucking possible.
Yep, I agree. I like it.
You give him a chance to develop. You got a great defense behind him. I'll be nice and say great defense. I'll be nice about it. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of him, minus the whole pressure of being America's team quarterback.
Well, see, but I think that's the only thing that'll change is that now you went from, we're Super Bowl contending team 49ers to you're the quarterback of America's team.
Hey, maybe he'll relish. Maybe he'll relish in that,
Can't be America's team if you don't win.
I mean,
it's not like
the Niners and the Niners and Cowboys don't have a history of players leaving one team and going to the other. We did see this with Dion. So it's not like unheard of. And they also have issues in the playoffs with each other. Like they have a storied, thing. It's current and in the past, which is hilarious.
It's definitely a chapter book at this point.
How funny would that be that Trey Lance becomes a quarterback of the Cowboys and that's how they finally beat the Niners in the playoffs?
I would love it. I'm not even gonna lie.
I would love it.
The NFL a parody. I'm just trying to throw some parody out there. So NFL, when y'all write y'all scripts, I gave you an idea. I'm just saying.
Do it.
I'm here for it.
That would be funny as shit because you're doing it with a cheap quarterback.
Make it happen.
Yes.
Right now. Make it happen right now. This is the thing I want to say about Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan, right? Because I feel like Kyle Shanahan has been doing this since Trey Lance has got into the league, and nobody has really peeped it. And I've been saying it literally since he drafted that boy. He's setting him up to fail every single time he puts him on the field.
I 100% believe that.
There's
you get that RG3 treatment.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's crazy to me because when you look at a Brock Purdy, when you look at a Sam Darnold, right, the play call is consistent with them, right?
It's totally different.
Run, pass, right? With Trey Lance, it's pass. Okay, run, pass, run.
It's like, what it is?
To mention on two of those passes you're referring to, because I know which preseason game you're talking about. Receiver ran shit routes.
The whole.
Because I saw it. I saw it. When that pick should have happened on that out route, because the receiver broke the route too early, and that corner was still sitting there in that cover 2 switch. Yeah, no, I saw that. I know exactly what play you're talking about.
And see, this is the thing about it, bro. It's like, why are people not taking into account the Niners O-line is absolutely horrible, right? Like outside of Big T,
without Big T, boy, they'd be.
Let me know. Thank you. Absolutely horrible, right? You got these no-name receivers who are trying to make the roster and dropping balls left and right. They don't know the routes. They don't know the playbook. That's obviously gonna make your quarterback look absolutely shitty, right? And then you have your guru offensive coordinator / head coach that are calling sabotage or sabotage plays for him, but not calling the same thing for the other guys that he wants to beat out because he wants to save face because he knows that he fucked up on the pick and took the wrong fucking person. So now he's trying to not only save his job because, like I've been saying this since he left Atlanta and came to San Francisco. That man got one more time to get outcoached in a big game by a coach lesser than him, and he's going to be looking for another offensive coordinator job, not a head coach job. Is it a lesser coach than him, or is he just not that good? I guess it's to be determined. Because at the end of the day, bro, you can't justify a pick like that and throw him and this is the thing about it, right? The Trey Lance pick. I don't hate the Trey Lance pick. I hate what they're doing. I hate what they're doing with the Trey Lance pick. Exactly. It just doesn't make sense for what you guys were trying to do at the time period. If you're going to sit up here and put all of your marbles and say that, oh, yeah, we got the perfect roster. We just need a quarterback. A rookie quarterback that's only played 1 year of football ain't your goddamn answer, dog. I don't care how much. I don't care how much championship is. I don't give a damn how good he is raw talent wise. I don't care about none of that shit, bro. A rookie quarterback that's only played 1 year of competitive football, serious competitive college football, that's not your damn answer.
And is it really competitive college football? Crazy to me. Is it really competitive college football?
Is it really competitive football? Because look at the conference that he played in.
Did he play for a Power 5?
Thank you.
No.
So even if he would have played 1 year in the Pac-12, I would have gave him more of a chance. He played in a I'm not gonna call it an unknown conference, but it's basically an unknown conference.
It's basically an unknown conference.
Unless you watch a lot of college football, unless you watch a lot of college football, you're like, I don't know if I can know who that is.
Yeah, people like us.
If he'd have played in the ACC for a fucking year, I'd have been okay with it. We saw Mitch Trubisky, and we know how that went. But that's neither here nor there. But
stop drafting quarterbacks from North Dakota State.
Fuck that. Stop giving up 3 fucking first round picks to move up to the number 3 pick. When you make a pick, if you're gonna do it, it's got to hit.
But they haven't allowed it to hit. That's my point. It's like give the kid the ball. Like he got hurt last year. Fuck it. It's over. It's done deal. But he should never. I believe this. No quarterback nor no player should be allowed to lose their job based off an injury. Even when Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe, when Drew Bledsoe came back, Bill Parcells gave him the ball in the playoffs and said, take it home. But after that first half, he was like, you're not getting it done. I'm going back to 12. Like, if you don't play good, then that's one thing. But to lose it because of injury, that's kind of messed up. That's what the 49ers have not learned. Going to the second quarterback don't work for you. They did it with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick.
Smith got hurt.
And if they go back to Alex Smith, they win the Super Bowl that year.
Super Bowl. I've been saying this for 10 years. I've been saying that exact same shit you just said. Now I've been saying it for 10 years, bro. If they go back to Alex Smith in that damn Super Bowl, they win that damn game.
They win.
I wasn't mad that they didn't because of the playoff success and the run that Colin Kaepernick had leading up to the Super Bowl.
I'm not talking about during the playoffs. In that Super Bowl, though.
I'm saying
it's the equivalent of riding a hot hand. Like he's kind of the reason you got there.
No, they weren't. No, he wasn't.
I said kind of. No, there was some electric plays this man put out there that were
absolutely.
They were when Colin Kaepernick took over because Alex Smith got hurt that Monday night game against Chicago. It was a Thursday night game. I can't remember what game it was.
It was
against Chicago. Monday night game against Chicago. The 49ers were 8-0. Like Alex Smith was doing his job.
No, I'm talking about the playoff run specifically. Like I'm not. Yeah. I understand when I'm talking about what Kaepernick did in the playoffs was amazing.
No, it was absolutely stupid.
Like and this shit was amazing.
Like why I say they should have took a chance and said Alex Smith take us home because it's different. Every single team, especially after that Packers game where he shredded their ass on the ground, every single team game plan for him on the ground. If you
listen to what you just said,
and you put in Alex Smith and he comes in with his IQ and how fast he develops and how fast his mind works in the pocket, the Ravens aren't stopping that. They do not have the DBs to stop it outside of Ed Reed, and he was old.
And at that point, just think about even during that time when Michael Crabtree and Vernon Davis, all of them were bitching because they weren't getting the ball. Vernon Davis was mad. Vernon Davis was one of the best tight ends in the league at the time.
And he don't talk much.
And he don't talk.
There's an argument he could have been the best tight end that particular year because Vernon Davis was on a tear.
Honestly.
When he started complaining about only getting 2 looks a game because Colin Kaepernick is the most inaccurate passing quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, you got to look at some of those things. And I love Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is my guy. I love Jim Harbaugh. But at that point in time, that was you strike while go put Alex Smith ass back in the fucking game.
And I guarantee you they win that game. I guarantee they win that game. And I feel like they've been trying to correct, or they always get away from what works, what makes them truly successful. Right? Because they try to do other shit and it end up never working. Do what you know how to do. Do what made you successful in the past. And the fact that they're putting in that Kyle is putting Trey Lance in these fucked up situations, and drop back 5 times, drop back 10 times, drop back 30 times, and we don't have the blocker protection. We got one guy that can protect you, sure, most definitely. That guy is a great blocker, great run blocker, everything. But everybody else is questionable as shit. We still gonna have you drop back 30 goddamn times. Right? Instead of running the same eccentric offense that we've been running for a Jimmy G, that we've been running for a Brock Purdy, that we ran for even an Alex Smith, that we ran for Colin Kaepernick, that got us to multiple damn NFC championships and Super Bowls. But no, let's go ahead and throw the rookie guy who's only played a year of football in total, probably a year and some change, because both his tenures on the Niners in the NFL, both those years, he ends up getting hurt. Why? Because Kyle is putting him in fucked up positions. Instead of doing that, hey, how about we keep this guy? Let us develop this guy into the guy that we want him to be, and to the guy that we know that he can be, and to the guy that we know that can run this offense, and let this guy just take the keys for right now. Yeah, sure, we might not win the Super Bowl. We might get to a few NFC championships here and there, but we know when that guy is ready, when he's ready to come out, there's no stopping him.
But that's what Jimmy G was supposed to be.
Exactly.
And Trey Lance beat his ass out last year, so he's like, all right, cool. We here now. But he regressed. So all of a sudden he regressed. Doesn't make sense to me.
That's crazy to me how you regress in a year's time. The 2 guys who are supposed to be the franchise quarterbacks. That's interesting. That's all. That'll always be interesting.
Because what's going to happen? Because my thing is, let's say Brock Purdy goes out and shits the bed when he comes back. Then what? Sam Darnold is. We saw Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is okay. To take my man GQ's words,
I'm listening.
Sam Darnold is hot dog water.
Oh, hot dog water. Okay, you know the hot dog water.
I mean, at least he's lukewarm hot dog water because he is better than Zach Wilson.
You know what I'm saying?
He is not better than Zach Wilson. You missed last week's show. You missed last week's show.
Look. Yeah,
it's old hot dog water with the little white chunk in it because you've got
not the white chunk. Oh God,
nah. See, Moolish was right. He said Zach Wilson was like ramen water, and I was like, ramen water.
It's not like ramen water right now.
Ramen water got a little flavor in it.
I know that's what we got. That's Zach Wilson.
Hot dog water just stank.
Ramen water is cool. You know what I'm saying? He upgraded. You know what I'm saying? It's used ramen water, but he upgraded a little bit.
Look, you got to admit, Zach Wilson's been playing good this preseason.
You know what I'm saying? He upgraded a little bit.
Look, I saw a TikTok of when he had that little scramble that somebody did, and I thought it was funny as hell. Like it was good. Okay, it was good.
I mean, he still threw the ball very well. He
didn't do bad. I'm not gonna bash him. I'm gonna leave Mr. Fuck Your Mom alone for this particular episode. But,
and you should like somebody like him.
No. Because he trying to rain on my old parade. You know
hello. Talk to him.
No. We call that player hating where I'm from.
You know what I mean? There's only one. Only one.
All right.
But anyway.
So where are we at here?
Are we on the JT thing?
Chiefs. No, we want to hold. We can go JT or we can go to Chiefs dynasty bullshit.
The Chiefs dynasty thing is exactly what you called it. bullshit. Like I don't.
Well, I was gonna say it was
Because
even Mahomes basically called it bullshit without calling it bullshit.
true.
He said dynasty don't even start till you get 3. So he kind of laid that whole thing to rest.
I don't because I was like, I don't believe that they're a dynasty. I don't know. I'm not there with them yet. So
I'm ready.
We can go.
I'm not either. And now I do see a lot of similarities in some of the framework between what they're doing now and what New England was doing. But I can say this. I can tell you what wasn't happening in New England that's happening there is you ain't have star players holding the fuck out.
No. Well, you did. Chandler Jones did. A couple, not a lot. Just a couple.
I mean, look. Chris Jones, which ironically we're talking about a bunch of Joneses here.
Yes,
Something about the last name Jones, but one Jones is way better than the other Jones. I like Chandler Jones. I do. I like Chandler Jones. But the way our defense was structured, we could go on just fine without Chandler Jones. The Chiefs, on the other hand, defense is going to be in trouble.
Didn't they just restructure his deal?
For Chris Jones?
Yeah.
No, didn't he just get a deal like 2 years ago?
He actually just signed a new deal.
That's what I thought. Which is very weird that he's now doing this other bullshit, but whatever.
Something's off. I don't know what it is, but I'm not calling them a dynasty. I will say they're consistent. I'm not gonna knock them for that. They are consistent.
No. Consistency.
And that's key, is to be cliche as shit. But you're consistently in the AFC Championship, which means you're in position to either be the number one seed, making a home playoff. You're doing all the right things. Making everything go through Arrowhead is the way you would want it to be a consistent team. 100%.
Absolutely.
I have no problem with that. But it's not. But he's also been beaten in that game. I mean, even if it was by Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, but Tom Brady's no longer here, so we'll leave that alone. But Joe Burrow's still here.
Well, yeah, and other teams are coming up.
Yeah,
And so we'll deal with that another time. Let's get to JT. I really don't the Colts don't have but one. I'm not gonna say one. They got a couple guys, but your main guy on offense is Jonathan Taylor.
It's very similar to the Giants situation.
Who are these guys you speak of, Mel?
What?
Now I will say, at least like the Colts do have. I like Pittman.
Guys you speak of.
Like I like.
You said what guys? Hold on.
You said they had a couple guys. Who are these
on
guys?
The team?
Guys.
You got DeForest Buckner. And maybe just DeForest Buckner. I like Michael Pittman Jr.
I feel like DeForest he was on the Niners, but sure. Michael Pittman, he needs to really start. Michael Pittman needs to understand that he is a big receiver. Okay, you're not small, my guy. You're not 5'8", you're 6'5".
Yeah.
Put your arm up to catch the fucking ball, dog. That's my only gripe.
But no, their main guy is Jonathan Taylor. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
And Alex Pierce, you need to catch the goddamn ball.
Yeah.
He can't catch the save
outside of their O-line, like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every
hey, look, it don't matter. You heard what Jim Irsay said both times. You don't care. But I find here's the problem I have with every single thing that Jim Irsay said. You allowed him to seek a trade, and you're seeking a first round pick, but you won't pay a running back in which you did not
first round
money.
That's why it doesn't make any sense.
Make that shit make sense. Oh no, and here's why I know this is what this billionaire is trying to do, because I read a lot of articles. The Dolphins submitted a trade offer, and they rejected it. You know why the Colts rejected it? Because the Dolphins' first round pick ain't gonna be that fucking high next year.
But you just said the first round pick.
But they're looking for one of those teams that's gonna be in the top 10 next year. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And
if you think like the Cardinals are not giving you their pick because they want Caleb Williams.
And they also have James Conner, which is a good running back to build with a young quarterback.
Yep.
He's fine.
I don't know about James Conner.
He's fine.
I think James Conner gets a lot of flack because he's kind of on the injury prone side, kind of not. I feel like if he could put together a whole season, he might get a different rep. But he's a solid kind of like bigger body back that you would like to have in your backfield.
He's solid for a young quarterback because at least he can block as well.
You know what I would do?
Just run.
Very true.
If I was the Panthers, I'd throw them a first and a second round pick. Because after this season, if they get Jonathan Taylor, they're never drafting high again. The defense is ready to go. It's going to take Bryce Young a year, get his feet wet, get fucked up a little bit.
They're going to have to drop one of those running backs. So they do have their running back room's kind of full too, because you got Miles Sanders and Deontay Foreman. Their running back room. And I'm not saying that like
fuck Deontay Foreman.
No, well, you can say that if you want to, but he's proven his worth. And
but I'm saying
twice over the last 3 years, like he's been major. Now I'm not saying he's better than Jonathan Taylor.
If the choice is Jonathan Taylor or Jonathan Foreman or even 100%. Miles Sanders, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor.
I would try to send one of those guys to Indy, if at all possible.
Oh yeah, if they want him back.
Indy's got what? Deion Jackson, I'm sorry, and a rookie, I believe. I think they have a rookie.
Yeah,
behind him. But either way, they have nothing. Cannon fodder, if you will.
Yeah, once again, another team. If I'm the Bears, I throw a first round pick at him. See what they say.
I'm going to get him.
The Bears, I can. But how much more cap space do the Bears have now? Because they did spend a lot of money, which is good. I'm glad they did. But if you could have Jonathan Taylor, if I've got Jonathan Taylor and Khalil Herbert, I can see that working very well.
They got a nice little chunk over there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As far as cap space, they got a nice little chunk. I think they'd be able to make it work.
But I mean, I think if you gave Justin Fields a running back like a Jonathan Taylor, that's a massive upgrade. But I think the Colts are looking at somebody like Tampa, somebody like maybe they are, maybe somebody like Carolina, but they want somebody that's gonna be in the top 10 next year. They don't want somebody that's gonna be drafting like 26.
But somebody in the top 10 is not going to want to give up that first overall pick.
Hell no.
Or a top 10 pick, I mean.
Absolutely not. I'm not. But I mean, also, if you're, put your GM hat on here. Like, if you're a contending team, do you consider it?
Yes.
Like,
that's why Miami put it in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Miami, of course. But even if you look at your upper echelon contenders, like if you're a team like the Bills, even though you have, James Cook, do you?
If I'm the Bills, man, I'll get rid of my entire backfield to get Jonathan Taylor.
I would too. I'm just putting my, like I said, I'm putting my GM hat on here. Like now, obviously, a team like the Chiefs doesn't have to worry about it, but I mean, a team like the Bills who need some ammunition. They need some ammunition. They do. They're slowly falling out of this conversation.
Yeah.
And I think people don't understand that why Stephon Diggs so pissed off. Like, because he's seeing that championship window fucking not even closing. That bitch slamming.
Shut quickly.
So don't be surprised if that man asks for a trade this upcoming offseason. Like, it won't be out of the realm of impossibility.
Here's another one for you then, since we just talked about him. If you're Dallas.
Yeah. I was just gonna say them. I was literally just gonna say Dallas.
You can think about it.
You got a young Deuce Vaughn. You got Tony Pollard, who we really don't know how he's going to be this season after coming off that injury. You still got a pretty stout O-line, a great defense. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm that call.
I'm this.
I would call Jerry Jones out. Jerry Jones said you don't know to check our right to Jonathan Taylor's a check. Jonathan Taylor is a check, right?
I was going to say,
because I'm going to say this.
For yourself,
if I'm Dallas. And you could somehow figure out a way to get a Jonathan Taylor, I will package Tony Pollard and a couple draft picks, because from what I seen, and I said this when it happened, Deuce Vaughn is better than Tony Pollard.
The reports have been pretty solid. So
he looks, to me, like when they drafted him, I was like, I don't know. I didn't realize he was that small, but I knew he was a small back. I thought he was like 5'8", though. I thought he was like 5'8", 5'7", 5'8".
That man got some highlights. I watched
it.
That boy got some highlights. But he wiggly.
But he reminds me, if Emmitt Smith was a faster running back, he'd be Deuce Vaughn. And that's who Deuce Vaughn reminds me of. He reminds me, because he has a real low, because he's small too, but he has a real slow, like a low center of gravity. It's hard to hit him. So when you do hit him, if you don't wrap him up, he's bouncing off of that.
Yep.
So to use him in conjunction with a guy like Jonathan Taylor, that can get nasty.
Yeah, and I think it can be like the way I see Deuce Vaughn's career playing out, especially in Dallas, if they use him in the correct way. I see it playing out like a better Darren Sproles. Like he's a true. The reason why I think he's better than
because he could run the ball better than Darren Sproles.
He's a true running
like that true Chargers combination when they had like LT and Sproles kind of thing going on.
Exactly. The reason why Darren Sproles is so dangerous is because he was so fucking small. As soon as the O-line
he disappeared.
Started to block, you couldn't see him. You didn't know where the fuck he was.
And that's what made Le'Veon Bell so good too. Like he disappeared behind you. Like, where the fuck did dude go? And all of a sudden he popped out. And you're like, where the fuck did dude
all of a sudden he popped up and he's gone. He's already in the second level, third level. He's already in your safety's face. So I think that compared with Jonathan Taylor, the way he has been, that's a bad.
And maybe that's a factor too. Maybe they truly want him to go to another conference. Maybe the other conference. I said another.
That could be
conference.
That could be it as well.
I wouldn't want to trade my best player within my conference. Where's the chance I got to see him potentially?
Right. Because shit.
Because you're not going to see him. You're not going to see him in the playoffs because the Colts ain't a playoff team. So.
Right. So it don't matter.
But that's an argument to be made. Like, hell, I fuck around if I'm the Eagles. I know I just acquired, Swift. Fuck that. I'll package a first round pick in Swift.
And Swift send that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm content with having Jonathan Taylor and Rashad Penny. Hell, I'll send you Kenneth Gainwell too. Shit.
Holy, what did we just say? What did we just say? Breaking: the Niners are trading Trey Lance to the Cowboys for a 4th round pick.
Get the fuck out of here.
Are you lying?
You
lying.
Ladies and gentlemen,
breaking news.
Clip it.
Thank you.
Clip it, damn it. Clip it because I said it. Clip it because I fucking said it.
Welcome.
GQ.
Welcome to Inside the Fucking Huddle. This is what we do.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. I was like,
it is right here.
Yeah.
Welcome to Inside the Fucking Huddle.
I'm reading it. Yep. For a mid-round pick. Damn, they didn't even put in the number. They just said a mid-round pick.
For a mid-round.
That make it sound bad. You're getting a mid-round pick. It may be a 3rd. It might be a 4th. You're getting a mid-round pick. Hey, I ain't saying I know a little bit about football.
Look, this is what what did we say before?
I read tea leaves very well.
What we said
this is right here before it happened, and it just happened. You heard
we called it.
Right
we called it. Our track record on this is ridiculous on Inside the Huddle.
It's funny.
I just want y'all to know.
The track guy broke it.
Because see that by the track guy.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
That's what we do.
This is what we do over here, man. Matter of fact, there's no better way to end the show than that right there.
I ain't even mad at it.
Honestly, we had a whole. We was about to kick into it.
We was about to go crazy, but
you know what I'm saying.
Brett, do my best, Deion Sanders.
Put your glasses. Put your glasses on, brother. Put your glasses on.
So make sure when you clip the mail, you hit him with that thug life. You know what I'm saying? Just
I got you. I got you.
Ending the show right here. Final words, gentlemen, because GQ was him and just called what we. Go ahead. Final words.
Listen, the same way you hear about these.
This is on GQ. Let's just on him.
The same way you hear about these Woj bombs. All right, just like I do on Gentleman's Talk. I have a whole video about this when I drop a GQ bomb on your ass. I ain't even dropped my video. I just said what I said.
Say what he said.
I watch enough NFL football. Sometimes you just see things. You see patterns, and he fits well with the team like the Cowboys. He really does. Yep. With those kind of weapons, with those kind of running backs, that kind of O-line, and that type of a defense, he fits well. They're not built very different from the Niners. They're really not. They're not built very different.
No, they're not.
They're built very similar, just different coaches.
Yep.
And there's a good chance, and McCarthy, this might be what saves McCarthy, or gets rid of him, and then you bring in the defense coordinator and upgrade him, and however that goes. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I'm intrigued by this. I'm watching that story. I'm watching that story real close now.
Yeah. So everybody, what I want y'all to do is save this episode, right? Go into right.
Troy, if you're listening, please make sure you save it and repost. Everybody post it everywhere.
Okay. And
what's going up? You already know that. You know I got you.
When Trey Lance beats the Niners in the playoffs, not next year, but the year after next year.
Fuck it. It might be this year.
Let Dak lead the league in interceptions again. It might be this year.
It might be this year, and if fuck around might be next year. But I'm giving my boy a 2-year grace window because I have faith in it. But come back to this video.
We literally
we
had 10 minutes talking about this before it happened.
And it happened. Like I said, we does this. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all of our
audience. Do this. Chat was live. We did the damn thing again. Welcome. This is Inside the Hub. We are in. This is.
I'm putting it in the group chat right now that we broke the Trey Lance trade before it actually happened.
Yeah, we are in mid-season form in preseason.
We got one more week of preseason left and going up. So without further ado,
we got it. Let's go.
The motherfucking and we are out of here. We appreciate y'all, man.
We out of here. Push that goddamn